Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another eBay tips video. Today, I want to talk about some of the misconceptions people have when they are buying, and a couple of some tips on this is as you guys know, specifically for RPG gamers and miniature war gamers and things like that. Some of these tips could go in for other types of buying, things you might be buying, but for the most part I'm going to be focusing on RPG game books and miniature war game books, maybe comic books a little, but for the most part I want to remind you guys that more than likely whatever you're looking for, it's not a one-of-a-kind item, and don't let your sellers act or treat you like it's the only one, the last one on earth. You're never going to find another one of these. This is the only one. Everything out there is usually produced in the thousands to the millions, and sure, they're in lots of people's collections and attics and boxed up and forgotten about. And if you're not finding this stuff on eBay, definitely don't bother wasting your time on Amazon, because there you're just asking to pay the most. But I would start looking at things like swap meets, garage sales, and estate sales, something I may touch on later on down this year. But I don't really do a lot of estate sales just because there's not a lot of it's not a big gaming mecca where I live. I've got some local gaming friends, and there's a few of us out here, and there are a couple of game stores. They're a little far for me to get to. They're 15 minutes is kind of a hassle for to go to just to do a shopping trip, one thing, or look around. I'm usually really super busy, and I can just let my fingers do the walking on the internet and get just about whatever I'm looking for, because game stores tend to only sell the newest of the new. If they've got some old stuff, they're also gonna want original cover price for, because they got a huge overhead. But don't let the sellers out there make you think that you're never gonna find it. Don't get discouraged. Well, the next thing I want to talk about is reprints. I see a lot of reprints out there, and mostly they're from Drive-Thru RPG. You can spot those covers, especially on the old AD&D books, and they act like they're special editions. And numerous times I've gone to these sellers when I was looking for a copy of The Unearthed and a couple other books that I eventually just got originals, and I'm like, dude, you're selling a reprint for $86. I can go on right now on Drive-Thru and get it for $30 plus shipping. Can you at least match that price? And usually the answer is no, because they were probably misled when they got the book, or they want to make a profit off the Drive-Thru price, and that's kind of pointless. I mean, to this day, just about any book you want, you can find over there when it comes to reprints of out-of-print books. Now, if you're like me and you want originals, patience is really the key. You've got to just understand that it'll come around. Summer is almost here. I'm starting to see a lot of new things come up on eBay that weren't there, a month or two ago, because like I always tell you guys, spring and summer is when people are selling their stuff so they can go on vacation or recover from the holidays. And that's never going to change, or at least it hasn't changed in 20 plus years that I've been doing this. So beware of those reprints. Know what your books are supposed to look like. There's a couple of us in the community that can help you out. Maybe you can send them a link to the item, and hopefully they won't buy it out from under you, right? Which is probably not the case. A lot of guys I know don't really want old moldy books. They want the new reprints. They'd rather have those because those will actually last you longer. The books that I've received from Drive-Thru are really well bound. They're not using old technology, and you're not talking about paper that's already 40 years old. It's brand new paper, brand new bindings, brand new threading, all that good stuff. So if you want a book to last and stay in your collection, to hand it down to your kids or grandkids or something like that, you might want to go with the new ones, unless you're going to take, a player's handbook and put it in a comic book magazine, back and board, bag and board, I should say, and file it away in an airtight container and hope someday that it, goes over $1,000, which, they probably will someday. The original white box, a good copy of the white box will run you, a first print over $1,000. So the first prints of AD&D, they'll eventually get there. If you're a speculator, you want to buy and sell and make a profit, cool. Just know that I'm going to just wait for a bargain, because there's people out there that aren't going to do the research, and I'll talk about that when I start talking about selling videos in September. But unless you want a first edition, I would just go with the print on demand, or ask yourself, why do you need a first edition? Unless it's just for collector's purpose. If you're going to game with them, get a 7th, 9th printing, whatever is available, and use it. Get out there and game with it. You can always put that first edition on your bucket list, so to speak, and get it later on down the road. Especially June, July, August. Even September 1st, people are going to be desperate to make some money, because now they need money for back to school, or getting ready for the holidays, or maybe even to recover from a very expensive vacation, or any other one of those life emergencies where you decide to sell stuff. But again, we'll talk about selling in September. But ask yourself, why are you looking for a first edition? Why won't a reprint do? And if you see those reprints on eBay, be sure and call them out on it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen reprints, obvious reprints, touted as a special edition. It's not special edition. It's just the opposite. It's a Chinese knockoff with the serial numbers filed off, and you shouldn't have to pay that kind of price for an old game book that's been reprinted. By and it's not just drive-through. I think there's other print-on-demand places. Maybe Lulu does that. I really haven't looked into that company much. I probably should, because I'm not a big fan of drive-through. And their policies aside, with the way they do certain things, I'm not going to lie. Their products come when they arrive, and it's going to be a while. When they arrive, they're in pretty damn good condition. Maybe I should do a video on drive-through. Let me know what you guys think, because I've bought half a dozen or so books from them, and I've had varying levels of success, and there's a couple of books I'm tempted to get over the summer, because I want to run some campaigns during the summer online, or maybe not live, but online at least. And let me know if you guys would like me to throw in my 2 cents on drive-through. I know there's a lot of different opinions out there. I'm a huge fan of Biggest Geekus, but they don't have some of the bigger names. If you want the new stuff that's coming out, give Biggest Geekus a call. Tell them I sent you. Those guys are great guys. I can't say a bad word about them, even if I tried. But just remember, buyer beware. Don't grab something just because you think it's the only one and you're never going to see it again. There's also other places you can put want ads for books, starting with your local game stores. If they've got a bulletin board, ask them if you can put up a wanted poster of the books you're looking for. And if they don't have a bulletin board, ask them why not offer to buy them one. For $10 you can get a cork board and a bunch of thumbtacks, so people can put their little index cards on them and say, hey, you want a game, or I'm looking for this book, that type of thing. There's a lot of resources out there to find those items that you're looking for, not just eBay. eBay's my go-to because I know it so well, and I buy and sell there to keep my collection ever expanding. And over the past 20 years, I've acquired some things that are almost, well, some that technically are one of a kind. I'll go into that later on down the road too. But one of a kind is for art and movie props and things like that. Don't let them, trick you into thinking that, you know, this is the last one. You'll never see another one again, and you better grab it before someone else does. Those are all just, shady selling techniques that I despise. And you know what? While you're at it, make up that list of stuff you're looking for, and send it over to me, and maybe I can help you out. There are some things I have extras of in my collection, and I will be putting them up for sale during the holidays. But maybe maybe we can work out a trade. Maybe we can get some other people involved who are looking for things, and start up a little trading post of our own. Maybe on the weekends or something, we'll get together and show off stuff we're willing to let go for a good price, or we just want to maybe do some trading. Trading's actually kind of fun. As kids, we used to do it all the time, and why not bring that back, right? So until next time, guys, have a great week. It's almost the weekend. I know it's only Tuesday, right? But for me, it's almost the weekend, and I want to thank you guys for being here and stopping in and playing along. And until next time, guys, hit those buttons. We love you guys very, very much, and happy trails.